Hi guys, Tammy here from Formflex Compound. I'm here to show you how to release molds. I just took these out of the freezer. What I'm doing is I'm releasing the sides, as you can see, and then all I'm going to do is lay this down and gently pull back. And there you go. Okay, I'm also going to refill that mold. Here's another one I want to show you. Gently release the sides, okay? Any kind of mold like this, it will pop out. You don't need to tip it over, okay? And that one releases. Here's another one with a tiny, tiny stem in it. Again, I'm not using gravity. I'm popping these out, okay? They just came out of the freezer and they pop right out. You want to leave these set until they get a crust-like top to them. If you start messing with this, this is still frozen, but it's going to hit a spot where it becomes very limp, okay? You want to wait until you get like a bread crust on the top of it, till it gets a little crusty. Then you could go ahead and possibly, you can glue it right on if you want. You can just let them air dry, and if they feel like they're dry on the top, you can always flip them over and dry them that way. We recommend 24 hours, and then you can store them in an airtight container and they will stay flexible. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you how to fill a mold. I'm going to put a light dusting of cornstarch in here. You always have to be sure that you use a light dusting of cornstarch. And I guess the best way to explain light is you want to make sure that you dust the whole mold, but see how these are still cold? You want to make sure that you don't get little clumps of cornstarch in there, because what that does is it will take away from your detail. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my compound out. Just grab some out of your bag. If your clay or your compound feels sticky, you can always take a little bit of cornstarch, put it on your hands. This isn't the least bit sticky, but I want it to show you how it's done. And if you can see, what I'm doing is I roll it into a snake-like, okay? Then all I do is I start and I push that in, not going over the edges. If you don't go over the edges and overfill your mold, you have so much, it's so easy to be able to clean up your mold. So you can see I'm just pushing it in, kind of staying within the sides where my mold is. And then at the end, I just take my snake and I break my snake off. If I still feel like I got a little too much, I can take a little bit more off. Then I'm going to take the card and I'm going to flatten the back, okay? Let's say that this card was sticking to the compound. All you have to do is just take it and push it, put your card in the cornstarch, and then start pushing again. And the reason that you want this back so nice and flat is because when you put this on, you apply this to your project, whatever you're making, you want to have this nice flat surface to work with. Or if you want to, say you want to take this and curve it around something, you want to make sure that you have everything completely nice and flat. So right here I have a low spot, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back in there. I'm going to add a little bit of compound. Sometimes you dig it with your fingernails or you bump it or whatever. Okay, so there's really not a lot of cleanup here, but there is some. Take your card at a 45-degree angle and just lightly scrape the top. And that gives you your flat background. Now, if there was a whole lot on the sides here, I would take and run my card along the sides. There's really nothing to clean up. Another tool that's really useful, I believe this is called a palette knife. People use it for painting. Some people use it for cake decorating. These things are really useful. I picked this up at like the Salvation Army or Goodwill. They always have those. Then I'm going to show you another one here. Again, I'm going to do a very, very light dusting. And the reason I chose this was to show you how deep the detail is in this mold. I'm just going to bend it back. I'm going to do a light dusting in there. Just kind of make sure you got it everywhere. Again, I'm going to take my compound. I'm going to put it in that snake-like position. The more you can do without having to use a bunch of little pieces, that makes your mold one consecutive piece without having to do like a bunch of little balls or whatever by using the snake-like roll. I'm just going to break it off where I want to break it off. Make sure that's all in there nice. I'm going to flatten it. Once you get it, it is so easy. And there's what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to clean up this right here and just push it right. There's a low spot. I'm just going to push that back in. Now I'm going to take my card, and I'm going to take my card at a 45-degree angle, and I'm just going to clean up all of these edges, making sure that the back stays all nice and flat. It's really hard because it's not overfilled by a whole lot. Okay, so right here I have a low spot. I'm going to go back in with my card. I'm going to flatten this all out. Make sure that it stays nice and flat. Okay. Now all I do is take these two and pop them in the freezer. Then the next thing that I want to show you, okay, so I've been working here for a few minutes, and now as you can see, this is starting to come to room temperature, and you can see it's floppy and that. Okay, so let's say that there was something I didn't like, or I don't know, I broke it or something. What you can do is you can take that and you can start working it back into your hands and get it warm again. And then you can turn right around. There's no need to waste or throw it away. If you don't like something, just warm it back up and then start casting with it. So I hope this helps you, and thanks for watching.